Good morning, friends. So thankfully I have finished, at least for the morning. I started at 6 a.m, which is 8 o'clock in the morning in Czech Republic, of course, and I had 4 hours straight. It's just gone 10 o'clock, and I have one more class today at 2 o'clock my time, so I'm headed back to the convent to have a rest and some tea. And that class at 2 o'clock is my last class for this week because I don't work on Fridays. Usually it's a travel day. But I'm still in Liberia until 4 o'clock on Saturday, which is when I get my bus to Abidjan. Anyway, so to fill the time, it's a 10-minute walk back to my accommodation. A word about giving. Because this city, at least the main road on which the convent is located, there has been some very aggressive begging. You come out of a big supermarket, and it's quite a big Swiss supermarket, and there is a gauntlet of people to get through. People in wheelchairs, people missing limbs. There's one guy with a heavily deformed left arm. Now, a lot of them will do the kind of begging that it's actually very irritating. They will say good morning, you say good morning back, they then get into lockstep with you and walk with you for, in one case, 200 meters, talking all the while, telling their story, their pitch, as it were, and asking for money. But it's so aggressive that they're walking with you and talking all the while. Not my favorite kind of begging. And it's the kind of thing where they're essentially browbeating you into giving them money to go away. Not my favorite form of begging. It happens all the time in India. But best to be as tolerant as you can be, because you have to understand that you represent, just you walking around, even me, you represent almost mythical wealth. I mean, look at me with my Ray-Bans and all the rest. Now I travel cheaply and I live on my wages, which, being a teacher, are not particularly extensive. But even that paycheck is insane amounts of money for them. So I give a decent amount to people, admittedly not that kind of begging strategy, but if I see a woman with children, if I see a disabled person and they don't actually address me most of the time, I will stop and give a certain amount of money. Because, as I say, my privilege is, quite frankly, off the hook. The privilege that I enjoy, as it were. I am a straight, cisgender, privately educated, white, British male. That is 6 degrees of insane privilege. So, while not impacting my own spending life that much, I give quite a bit. Because the life that they've been born into, just by an accident of geography, really, is very, very difficult. If you have an upwardly mobile, highly intelligent, highly motivated person in this country, their uphill battle is very, very challenging. So the short version is, be as tolerant as you can of people asking you for money, because you represent almost infinite wealth. And give when you can. That's it, really. Anyway, I'm almost back now. Good morning, friends. So, it's Friday morning and I've had a lie-in. It's 7 o'clock. So I woke up Made myself some tea, got myself some water, and I'm going to relax for a little while this morning. I am going to go to the hotel today because, as I mentioned before, I don't have Wi-Fi in this facility. Going to go have some coffee, do some end-of-month administration on my laptop, and generally have a fairly relaxing day. As I mentioned, usually Friday is a travel day for me, because it means that if I make it in one day, I then still have the whole weekend off in my new home. But the bus to Abidjan that my mother was able to source doesn't leave until Saturday tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then travel overnight to Abidjan. And I'm going to go back to rule number 4, don't panic. Now, I wasn't panicking, you understand, but last time I was sitting here, I was feeling apprehensive about the crossing to Abidjan. Anxious, a little bit. And yet, it all worked out, well, knock on wood, perfectly. So yeah, I'm in a good place this morning. It's a beautiful, dappled sky. The girls, I mean, this place, as I mentioned before, this is a convent. It's a quite large, walled, guarded facility. And I was talking to the lovely Sister Annie. Sister Annie is a tiny little old lady with the most wonderful, infectious laugh. She has a kind of a chortle, a little bit like Yoda, like and this place is a fully functioning school with 800 girls who attend this place. I was talking also to Brother James, who's the head honcho. This place was built in 1936, and it does have that kind of age to it with the wooden floors and the rather steep stairs. But it's very nice, of course, that you have a massive school for 800 girls, local girls. So yeah, it's nice. Anyway. I love those too. Good morning, friends. So it's about 11:30. I'm being picked up from the convent at 3 o'clock, taken to the bus station to get my bus at 4, but it's due to arrive tomorrow morning at about 11 o'clock in Abidjan. So I'm just heading along to the hotel to get some Wi-Fi, send them a WhatsApp message to double check and confirm, have some chips. There was a monumental storm, a grandmother of a storm that was running for about an hour. You know, it's just torrential. It was incredible. And it just lit up, which is convenient timing for me. Anyway, keep smiling. can tell this isn't a francophone country, can't you? Yes, ordinary decent Christians, as they say.